Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's me, DJ Marco Polo. All right, we're getting ready for wedding season here in Central Texas, and a lot of our clients are looking for that dancing on the cloud experience. We had an older machine that did a great job, but it's time to upgrade, you know, bigger and better things for the new year. All right, so right now we have the Both Lighting USA low-lying fog machine. It's water-based. Want to shout out to my people over at Both Lighting USA. What's up, Dave? What's up, Marcellus? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing set up. I'll show you the process, and some of this we'll learn together. Ultimately, I'm gonna bring out the lovely Diana the MC once I get the fog going so she can kind of dance around, and that way you get a little bit of a perspective of how it's gonna look. So hang tight, let's see what this is all about. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing rolling. It's not gonna be elegant. I try to make certain that as a presenter, I don't know, the power just... Okay, I'm back. The power went out, so hopefully you guys got a laugh out of that. That's definitely gonna be part of the video. I make fun of myself. Okay, so this fog machine comes in a typical flight case for protection, obviously. I've already unsecured the latches, so I'll take the top off here, and it does fold in half. And I think the reason why is because here towards the rear is a place where you can actually refill it. So I'm certain that versus having to open it up fully, you can leave this on, which will protect the water, right? And then if you just need to fill up the reservoir for the solution, and I'll get to that here in just a little bit, then you can do this. But for right now, I'm gonna take the entire top off and get it out of the way. Okay, so inside is another lid. There's a couple of latches. I'm unhooking these, and let's see what's inside. You'll see we open it up. There are two vents that actually have a handle on them, and I'm assuming this is gonna be able to help you steer and direct the fog as it's dispensing from the machine. So this is really cool. I actually like this. So I'll put these down. Also inside, it looks like you have two accordion hoses. So if I had to guess, these are going to attach to the front of the machine. I'll turn it around here so you can see it. You'll see there's two different holes or vents there in the front. And I'm assuming these accordion style ventilator hoses will attach to the front. So we got one here, and you have a second one here. And then after that, there are 4 clamps. I've seen these before. It looks like they actually have a little thumb screw that will adjust the tension so they can secure the ventilation hoses on the front here on the machine, as well as onto the actual vents that actually put the fog into the room. So that's actually pretty cool there. Play around here. Looks like once you unloosen it, you can just slide it up or down, so that way it fits securely and tightly around all 4 sides. So that's pretty cool. And then looking here, PowerCon. Looks like a 3-foot PowerCon, not too long. I'll have to check this out. So depending on like how you station the fog machine in relation to where you want the fog to actually to give that effect on the dance floor, you might need an extension cord. This is a really short cord, but I totally get it. Not a big deal. Totally can work around that. Now, what I do like is the fact that you get a remote control to start the fog. And then here's the cool thing about it. I'll bring it closer. You'll see it's got a little slide here, and you have a start button and a stop button. It's really a lock and unlock button, but I'm assuming unlock will start the fog and lock will stop it. And the reason I think this most likely will be radio frequency over infrared is because inside is a antenna. And I'm assuming this will give you a little bit more range, so you don't have to necessarily be right in front of the machine to start it. If you had to like serve multiple functions and maybe you're queuing up the music versus having to go all the way over to the machine and start it, you have a little bit more range there. So this has a kind of a DMX XLR 3-pin connection point, which will connect on the back. And I'm going to show you the machine here in just a moment, but that's actually pretty cool. So I'll put that down here with the rest. And I think now it's time for me to show you, I guess before I do this, I'm gonna close the lid. The only other thing I'll show you here is that there is a container, which I'm assuming this is your reservoir. So pull this out. Actually, I think that probably stays in. So I'm gonna leave that there. And then there is a little canister here, which I'm assuming is the reservoir for the actual solution. So I'm gonna get this all set up and we'll come right back to that. Hang tight. Okay, yeah, I'm back. I've learned a long time ago being heavy-handed and just forcing things is not a good thing. So I took my time to learn how to take this thing off so I didn't break the shit. So that being said, there is a small, looks like this might be, I don't know, a half a gallon container. And so I'll give you a perspective of what this whole thing looks like here in just a second, but this is where you're gonna put the solution. So hang tight and I'll show you the rest of the machine. Okay, so excuse the beautiful Diana, she's cooking dinner right now, so it's a lot of noise here in the background, but here are all of the pieces I was showing you. Those are the accordion vent hoses. Those are the actual directional vents there. You can see the clamps, the antenna, the PowerCon, the remote control. And then here on the front, here are your two areas where the actual fog will dispense from the overall machine. Here, if you open up, this is your water reservoir. And what's really cool, if you look inside, it actually tells you where the water levels should be. So you have a minimum, a maximum water line and a minimum. Obviously, you don't want to go over that maximum line. I'm not going to say that's going to damage the machine, but if I were you, I would not go over. But obviously, you can see the lower one. And you want to try to make certain that the sweet spot is right between those two lines where it says lowest water level and maximum. So, all right, that being said, this is the rest of the machine here. You can see we can go around. There's the lovely Diana right there. She's turning around. Hey, babe. Okay, I'll finish up with dinner and all that good stuff. She's got some water for me. And now I think we are getting to the point where it's almost time to set up. So I'm going to go ahead and put the camera back on the stand here, and we'll go ahead and start getting the next steps ready. Okay, so I'm gonna come a little closer to the screen here. This is the actual solution that you'll need to buy, or this will work with the water that you put into the reservoir of the fog machine, but it's molecular low-lying fluid. I will give you a link to the place where I bought it online, but from what I'm hearing, like this one container will probably hold you for like 3 to 5 different first dances per se. So the cool thing is you won't run through this really fast. Like buying one container, you may be able to do at least a half a dozen events, if not a few more. So, all right, now, what's next? I'm gonna take this, which is the container that actually fits in the machine itself. I'll try to be careful here. And I should have a funnel. A funnel would probably work better, but I'll be sure-handed here, not to get any on the floor, so I don't get yelled at by my wife. So, like I said, I don't think you need that much. So I'll bring it closer. I would say that's probably a third, maybe a quarter of the way, somewhere between that filled up. But again, I just want to test it. So now here, I'm going to take this hose that comes in it, and I will stick it down, make certain that it reaches all the way to the bottom. But I want to make certain I put this on right. All right, it's in there. I'm going to take the top, and I'm going to secure it. It does have a little bit of a pressure point, like a typical secure, top where you have to apply a little force down, almost like, like where you get like Tylenol or ibuprofen, etc. It's got that little secure top on it. Okay, so now we're gonna open up the water reservoir. Before I do that, I don't wanna make mistakes, so I'm gonna put the top back on the solution. I actually ordered another bottle. You know me, I like to be doubled up on everything. So, but again, this one should last. Okay, so now the only thing to do is get some water in here. Before I do this, I am going to take the remote off and I am going to get this PowerCon in place. Feeling a little excited here. I'm gonna slide it back, but I'll adjust the camera here in just a moment just so I can reach a nearby outlet. Cool. And I think what I'm gonna do, just to kind of give you another perspective, I'm gonna get you a little closer in on what I got going on over here, okay? So give me a second, I'll bring you in closer. All right, so the PowerCon is plugged into the wall. Like I said, I don't even think that's 3 feet. I think that's more like 2.5 feet, but so in most cases, I'm thinking you will need somewhat of an extension cord, or definitely need to think about how you place this next to your DJ rig if it's part of a, you know, like a wedding setup or, you know, for a reception. But you have your DMX out, your DMX in. Here's the slot for the remote control I was telling you about. You have a power cord, a fuse, and it is plugged in. So I'm going to turn it on. And we'll see how this goes. So give me a second and I'll be right back and we'll see how we take the next steps. Hang tight. Okay, so I wanted to follow some protocols first. As I've said, I put the molecular fluid in there for the fog. I don't have it plugged up. The manual was pretty clear, like while you're putting water or other liquid-based solutions in it, you definitely don't want to have it plugged up. So now, you're supposed to use distilled water for this machine. I don't have any distilled water. What I do have is some Ozarka water that we use for a fountain. And although this isn't distilled, it's a lot better than what we have coming out of the tap. So we're gonna use this. I've already confirmed with my assistant, AKA Claude, that it's okay to use this here. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the water in. And this is going to take some time, so I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Couple of things I had to learn the hard way. There is a water release valve underneath this machine. Before you start pouring water into it, you want to make certain that that valve is locked. It's closed. I was pouring water in and I was wondering, why is it taking so long? Well, eventually I started seeing water come from underneath. And the reason they have it there is because unlike certain machines where you can leave like the water in there for a while, maybe between gigs, it is highly, highly recommended, not even recommended, mandatory, that you empty the water reservoir after every single use and even wipe it down, because there is a lot of residual backup minerals that could get caught up in there and definitely won't allow the machine to work as properly as it can for as long as it can. So I've already, to speed things up, I've already attached the hoses. I've already attached the vents here. So you can see I have these, and yeah, it's looking pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes to warm up. I think it's gonna take a couple of more minutes to get to that stage, but in the meantime, I'm going to close the reservoir. No need to necessarily lock it. There is a display on the actual machine itself. I showed that to you a few moments ago. And so, as I understand it, that is what will let you know when it's actually ready to dispense fog. So the other thing I'm going to do, step out of frame for a second, is I'll grab the remote control. The cool thing about this remote, in addition to it having like the little on and off button, or the little, it also has like a little small little antenna. It looks like something from like back in the day, man. Like, I don't know, like some spy stuff, like hello, hello. Anyway, it's actually pretty cool. So I'll give it another second to make certain that it is properly ready for the fog, and we will give it a test, okay? Hang tight. Okay, so now you can see the fog is taking effect here. It just took a few moments. Definitely creating somewhat of a thicker fog effect. It just took a few moments for it to kick in there. So again, first time using it. I don't know what my wife is doing right now and why she's dancing like that, but I don't know if she thinks she's waltzing or something, but listen, it's a smaller fog machine, but it's definitely giving you the effect that you need. You can see like Theo is, let's call it 10 inches tall, and the fog is already taller than him. This is the machine, water-based, by Both Lighting USA. And so this will be great for clients when they're looking for that, dancing on the cloud effect. So pretty cool there. So I'll post this, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment and I'll let you know. But this one's by Both Lighting USA. So I'll drop the links of not only the fluid or the molecular fluid that you need for it, but also the link to the actual model number itself. But yeah, it's good to go.